And welcome inside Delaware Live Sports. We are live from Buffalo Wild Wings, Dover. Here, and as always, joined by Pat Garianis. Pat, here we are, finishing up week 0, week 1 now in the books, and we're on the way here to week number 2, an action-packed show we've got planned tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one, Nick. It's exciting time of the year. Season just keeps going. 3 great guests on here tonight: Lake Forest football team, as well as Dover's and Caesar Rodney. So heavy Kent County football themed show, man. I'm excited for it. Talking to these guys, catch up. Both Dover, Lake Forest off to great starts. Caesar Rodney under new coach, trying to get things going down there. So I'm excited to talk with all 3.
Yeah, going to be 3 great interviews tonight. You're not going to want to miss those. But first, to my left, we've got our analysts. They're back, Benny Mitchell and Mike Lang. Guys, we had an action-packed weekend, a fair share of games here on Delaware Live Sports on the YouTube page. So before we dive into some of these guests here, let's just quickly recap what we went through here last week. And Mike, just talk a little bit about the action that you got to see last week.
Well, I was with you guys at Thursday night at Caravel against Hodgson, and boy, that Caravel team is something special. I think they're going to be really tough to beat in 2A, although I think Lake's going to have something to say about that this year. And that was a real good game. And then Friday night, I was out at St. Mark's to watch St. Mark's to St. George's, John Wilson's return to St. Mark's. They were able to.
We saw him Thursday night.
We did see him Thursday. It was a coaches convention at Caravel on Thursday. John's first trip back to St. Mark's, the coach against the Spartans, where he was, Nick, for 13 years, as you well know. And St. George's did a good job, good comeback in the second half. Really kind of wore out St. Mark's and took that one 20-9. And then Saturday morning, I was able to get to Archmere against Pat's alma mater, St. Elizabeth's. Vikings came out strong. I think they just kind of ran out of some steam, Pat. Young team, not very deep. They do have some talent on that team. I like the quarterback, the freshman, Cole Andrews. I think if he give him some time, he's going to be pretty good. He showed some things on Saturday, so it was a football weekend for me. It was kind of nice. And then I wrapped up Saturday night watching a half of soccer at Abyssinia before the Lightning wiped out half number 2, and I just went home and fell asleep.
Mike did a season's worth of work in week 1, Nick.
All over the place,
Well done,
I'll
sir.
tell you.
Well
I'm telling you,
done.
Mike, all over the place. Benny, let's take a look at what happened down south in the first state this past weekend. A lot of action down here.
Well, I only
And
drove
you had
to
something.
Greenwood, so I wasn't as well traveled as Mike this weekend. Now, I had to game Greenwood. Woodbridge and Colonel Richardson, one of the cool things about that game is they're like mirror communities on opposite sides of the state line. A lot of the Coach Johnson from Colonel Richardson had relatives on the Woodbridge team. I had a relative on the Colonel Richardson team. You know, a lot of those kids are either related or they're so close together they know each other. But it was fun because we had Colonel Richardson last year and they run that double wedge, and it was a game in the first quarter. And then Jakari Banks literally stepped in, and we're a one-point game. Jakari Banks goes 100 yards on a pick 6, and then followed up by a Quincy Whisper touchdown to end the half. And then we come right back to Jakari Banks returning the opening kickoff, 98 yards. So 21 points in a span of 5 minutes. And Woodbridge, as my broadcast partner Scott Cameron said, man, they were all gas, no brakes last Friday night. And the guy we're not even talking about is Tracy Johnson, who rushed for 167 yards and a pair of touchdowns. And Woodbridge only won 2 games last year. They've already got 2 this year. They go to Glasgow and Howard. So Woodbridge could be a AA playoff contender. They could be looking at one of those 8 spots. But I'll tell you, District 3, AA, it's the old Henny South. It's going to be a battle to see who comes out of there.
And Woodbridge just a few years removed from that state championship appearance at the University of Delaware. So you have to look to them to get right again here this year. And they're off to a great start, as Benny mentioned, 2-0, Pat. So again, we're going to have a great show lined up. We've got 3 fantastic guests. We're going to take our first break right now. When we come back, we're going to be joined by one of them here at Buffalo Wild Wings, Dover. We'll be right back on Delaware Live.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned, community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home.
And welcome back live inside Delaware Live Sports. We're here at Buffalo Wild Wings Dover. Nick Alessandrini alongside the Triple Crown fantasy champion, Pat Garianis. Sorry, Nick Halliday. Pat, you go back-to-back in fantasy baseball this year. First off, congratulations. But a action-packed show tonight. We're going to get it started here with Lake Forest.
Yeah, it's we're joined here by assistant coach Josh Webb and some of the familiar faces from the Lake team. I'll have you guys introduce yourselves.
I'm Trayvon Hodnett.
Jameer Snell. Darius Miller.
Jonathan Tyndall.
Brogan Thomas.
Absolutely, fellas. Well, hey, welcome in. First and foremost, man, we'll throw you a nice little warm-up toss here. What's the go-to menu item and/or wing sauce here at Buffalo Wild Wings?
I mean, you can never go wrong with some boneless wings. You know, you don't like eat around the bone sometimes, and like it gets like it kind of a struggle sometimes. So you always go with mild sauce, so you can never go wrong with that.
There you go.
Mild sauce.
I like it.
Mild sauce. I'm messing with the mild sauce.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with the mild sauce.
Okay, we got mild
Nothing
right
wrong with
here.
that.
I'm boring. I'm mild too.
Hey, we like it.
I'm gonna go with the Caribbean jerk.
Yeah, oh, change up.
Caribbean
Come on,
jerk.
all
Coach,
right.
don't forget too.
I'm a big parm garlic guy.
Parm garlic. So we got one. We got one garlic parm guy here today. We usually get a few of those, so glad we got one. But guys, really appreciate you taking the time here on a Wednesday night to come join us. Let's just talk a little bit quickly here about the start to your season, Coach. What has been going right for you guys here through 2 weeks? Obviously coming in here with a couple of victories. Just talk a little bit about what has went right for you guys the first 2 weeks. Maybe a little bit about what was going right during training camp, and now as you're into the season 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, we had a really good off season. A lot of kids in the weight room, 7-on-7, conditioning, the whole nine. These kids really understood. 9 wins last year, but it didn't end the way we wanted it to. And we've got very good leadership with these young men up here. So we went into the training camp with a mission, and the kids have really stepped up and performed. We've hit some adversity along the way already, but we're 2 games in, 2-0. So at the end of the day, a win's a win, right?
That's correct.
Again,
Fellas, talk about it from your guys' perspective as players. Obviously, like you guys said, you had a successful regular season last year. Things didn't go the way that you would have wanted them to in the playoffs. What was the mindset during the offseason and into training camp as a team, and then also as an individual, if you had one goal that you had in mind?
As a team, we always told us like get back. This is a get back year. So we want the championship this year, no matter what. But as my personal goal, I just want my team to be successful. I want everybody to have like an award by themselves.
During off season, we all got the mindset that we want to win a chip this year, so we all working for it right now. Yeah.
In the off season, we trying to put in the work, get back to where we were last year, but even further. And we always try to get on each other to work our best.
Yeah, just the same thing what they said. We didn't want that feeling again. Left a sour taste in our mouth. So we just didn't want to have that losing feeling like we did last year. And I think we all just want to leave a legacy that can, be remembered here.
I follow Trey. Basically, what they said, just work harder, and it's like a team goal, but make it to the chip.
And coach and players, you guys can answer this too after, but obviously every year you have some turnover, right? You lose some seniors, some of those leaders. You just talked about it. You got some great leaders sitting up here now as some rising upperclassmen. What is maybe the difference about this team, if there is one? If you notice the difference about this group of guys here coming into 2023, what's kind of the difference? You talked a little bit about the training camp and the extra work. Last season didn't go maybe as you would have planned, but what's the difference with this group of guys that you guys have here in 2023?
I think these guys are a little closer off the field. I mean, these guys all here, they're together all the time. Really good kids. They're leaders in the hallway as much as they're leaders on the field. So I would say that the kind of the camaraderie was really, really quick from the jump. That's probably the biggest difference with this team.
Yeah. Guys, you feel the same way there? Do you feel that chemistry just maybe stronger here this year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely, fellas. Well, off to a great start. You got a 30-14 victory over Odessa, as well as a 38-13 victory over Caesar Rodney. What's been maybe the main key to success here through the first 2 games of the season from your guys' perspective?
I feel like we can give, as long as we can get our playmakers the ball, we can win the games no matter what. As long as we can get our playmakers the ball, our defense can get stops no matter what. I have faith in my defense that my defense will get a stop no matter what. So as long as we can score on offense and consistently score, we're going to have a great season.
Making sure that our line is doing their job. That's the way we really make it.
More making sure that everyone's doing what they need to do and focusing on like the keys to the game and everything else to that.
Yeah, I think everybody just doing what they have to do, not trying to do too much, and we've had a lot of younger guys step up, which is also good. Yeah.
Right. Basically, when something doesn't go our way, just look to the next play, keep pushing.
And now, Coach, big matchup coming up here this weekend against a tough Red Lion team, a Red Lion team that's returning a lot of starters from last year as well. They have a pretty good squad over there. Just talk a little bit about that matchup. What makes them a tough team to go against, and what are your maybe keys to victory for that game here Friday night against Red Lion?
They're very talented, a very, very talented football team, well coached. You know, Ken Anderson and his group do a great job. But in terms of key to the game, you don't want to game plan for what the other team's doing, but at the end of the day, we have to do what we do, and don't let because of the opponent take you out of what your game plan is or how you teach what you do. As long as we go up and play the way we're capable, I think it's going to be a great game.
Absolutely, and fellas, from your guys' perspective, obviously big game coming up against Red Lion. Where's your head at as a player? Where's your focus at heading into a big time game? Kind of early into the season, but you're in the mix now.
Our focus is to make sure everybody's really on the same page. I feel like when we have good weeks and everybody's on the same page, we can jump in front, like have a great game, start off the game on a good note. We're gonna have it's gonna be a blowout game.
It's really about starting off fast and staying foot to the gas the whole time. That's pretty much it.
More so like starting off strong and keeping it up there, letting our foot off the gas and all that.
Yeah, just what they said. It's this is like a playoff game almost. This is a great team. They were in the playoffs last year, so it's going to be a tough game. So.
Basically, what they said: stay on the same page, work as a team. We'll be all right.
All right, fellas, let's go. Oh, we got one more for
yeah,
you.
we got a big
one more
one.
for you. If you've watched the show, I don't know if you have, this has become kind of like a staple here. Lighten things up at the beginning and the end of the interview. So we're ready to go. You got the AirPods in, or you got the speakers playing at home. If you had one song to get you going, get you ready to go, what's the go-to right now this season?
Yeah. What are you listening to right before that game on Friday night?
I mean, you can never go wrong with a classic. Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill. Never go wrong with a classic.
And that's what Penn State ran out to last
Definitely
Saturday.
Dreams and Nightmares. That joint definitely get me going before the game.
Definitely Dreams and Nightmares. It gets everybody pumped in the locker room.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
John, what do you guys got up there?
I listened to a Denzel Washington speech. I'm not a song guy.
A little equalizer action. That's what I like to hear right there.
I basically just like Taylor Swift. That's it.
Taylor Swift.
And remember the Titans, too. Well, there you go. Coach, not off the hook. Again, what were you listening to? What's getting you going there on game day?
as a coach, I don't really do music before the game. There's too many things, got to get
understandable,
everything
yeah.
set up, stuff like that. Now, as a player,
yeah.
the last song that had to be on before I went out of the locker room was "Champion" by Kanye West.
There you go. There you go, Kanye. There we go. Well, guys, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Big time matchup here coming up for Lake Forest with Red Lion this weekend. Two very good teams going at it. Guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate you taking the time to join us, and good luck on Friday night.
All right, thanks for having us, guys.
Lake Forest Spartans. We're going to take another break here on Delaware Live Sports. When we come back, another guest. We've got two more great football teams to talk to. We'll be right back.
Hospitality, founded in 2004 when three guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise to Delaware. To date, they operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings in Delaware and Maryland. Also the Stone Balloon and Limestone Barbecue. And let's not forget Expectation and 5 Jersey Mikes throughout Delaware. High Five Hospitality's mission is to operate 5 brands that serve high-quality products with exceptional hospitality. High Five Hospitality, founded in 2004 when three guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise to Delaware. To date, they operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier? Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier?
Welcome back in, folks, to Delaware Live Sports Weekly. Nick Alessandrini, Pat Gariani's here with you. Thanks once again to the Lake Forest football team for hopping on with us. And now we'll shift gears. We're going to talk with Dover High School football team head coach Chip Knapp and a few of his captains. Fellas, go ahead and introduce yourselves to the people.
I'm Daniel Shockley.
Taquan Kilby.
Nassim Cosmic.
Really, really appreciate you, coach, guys, coming on. First and foremost, man, we'll toss it up easy one to you. Buffalo Wild Wings, they're known for their food, known for, sport. What's the go-to menu item here when you're taking it in here at Buffalo Wild Wings?
We're going to put you on the spot early, fellas.
I'm a big guy, so I know what I'm talking about, and I like the mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella sticks. I think that's the first mozzarella stick we've had on the show. I love that. Let's keep it rolling.
For me, I'll probably say wings or a burger. Like, you can never go wrong.
What kind of burger? What's your go-to burger?
Just a regular bacon burger.
There you go. That's good. What do you got?
I'm unusual, so I get a Buffalo Ranch chicken wrap.
Oh, okay. I like the Coach, what about you? What do you like to get here?
Seems like every time I come here, I get the wings, some form of the wings.
Yeah.
Whatever sauce.
Like to switch it up then.
Yeah, switch it up.
There you go. Nice. That's what we like to hear. Well, we appreciate your time again, guys. Thanks for joining us here. And obviously 2-0 on the season with 2-0 against teams that might not be too familiar with. Some out-of-state teams. Coach, just talk a little bit about those matchups. What it's like to go against maybe some out-of-state competition to start your schedule here this year.
Well, it was interesting. They had a change of schedule with adding St. Mark's. It kind of flipped a bunch of teams around.
Right.
And found out we had 2 open dates at the beginning of the season, and a little bit at first a little difficult to find someone to play. And I had some memories of Wesley College. A lot of teams didn't want to play us early, and so we put it out there, and everyone from IMG Academy to a whole long list of top programs called us, and we did have some connections with West Philly, so we got that game down first. That was a relief just to get 9 games. Then the 10th game was a little harder, and we found a team. There's really a good program, Curtis High School in New York. They're averaging 7, 8, 9 wins a season. The city champions in New York City for several years, and that seemed like a good matchup for our second game. So it really worked out well for us. Although it's hard to compare, what our scores mean or anything, but there were 2 good games.
Yeah, guys, you talk a little bit about that, right? I mean, does that change your preparation at all when you're going up against teams maybe you haven't seen before? And just talk about that experience playing, 2 out-of-state teams.
Yeah, it was definitely different just because, you haven't seen the team before. You don't know the players. You don't know which is going to be the top playmakers before you really watch that film and sit down and study what's going on. So it's definitely a different change of pace to what we were used to.
I'm going to piggyback off of what Dan said. It's just different groups because they out-of-state team, so they not really used to Delaware rules, all that. So it's just different from playing in-state team and then out-of-state team.
Out-of-state teams bring a different atmosphere to the game and stuff like that.
So, Coach, since you've taken the program over, you guys have had successful seasons each time. You can tell that the program is continuing to improve. Obviously, you've been right on that outside cusp. The last couple of years, last year, obviously, having a great opportunity to potentially win a state championship game. Going into this season, what has kind of been the mindset, if there's been any kind of change, or what have you seen from this group returning a lot of guys that has you excited and off to a good 2-0 start?
Yeah, so the last 2 seasons have been great experiences for these guys. Our seniors have learned a lot. They've gotten a chance to know me and the coaching style and how I like to build the program. And the buy-in is better. They're seniors, and some of the things that we've been preaching we're starting to see in our program, the focus and the hard work and practice, and slowly it's paying off. I think these guys would say the same thing.
Yeah, no, it was definitely nice bringing Coach Knapp in, learning his new coaching style, experiencing these different things that we hadn't before. But it's definitely been a pleasure, and yeah.
Yeah, same thing as Dan said. As going on, we were trying to perfect our formations and all our plays so we can maximize them in the game.
Coach Knapp brings something different to us. We got the college-style offense, college-style defense. It helps us prepare for the next level. So when we get there, it's oh yeah, this is easy to us.
And Coach, you talked about it last year, a successful season, just 1 game away, just coming up short of that championship game. What's the difference this year? And you guys can answer this too. What's different about this group here in 2023? Pat talked about it. Maybe that game's still fresh in your mind. You use that as motivation. But what's different for this group in 2023 as opposed to last year's team?
Well, for me, it's been the focus. Our team motto is next step is going to be our best step. We're going to focus on what's in front of us. Really, last year it was an experience we could draw from, but it's not something we're thinking about. We're thinking about the next drill, the next practice, and the next opponent. And if we just do our best in each one of those, and each step we take, good things are going to happen. So that's what is our mindset going into this season. And if we do that, we think we're going to have similar results to what we had last year, or maybe better.
I would say that the biggest difference between last year and this year with our players is probably just the experience. We had a lot of young players last year, and I think that being up there and doing as well as we did gave them a lot of experience, and I think that now we're just really getting better into our zone, for sure.
I would say from last season, we're coming in with a better, different mindset. We focusing more on other stuff and just win games and try to get back to where we was last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say the difference this year is people more focused. you know, they saw like how we lost the championship game, and now they feel as though we can get back there and we could do better, you know.
And the other thing is, we have great seniors. There's three of them right here, and they're the guys that are leading the way, and you can't have really a lot of success without the leaders. Sure. And I've seen teams throughout the state while I've been watching. One team I remember, Sussex Central, won the state championship. They had a senior quarterback, they had senior running backs, they had senior linemen, and I kind of see some similarities to a little bit of that team.
Absolutely. And let's look ahead here to the game this week, right? You guys got Appoquinimink. They present some challenges for sure with McConomy and some other guys. Coach, talk a little bit about, obviously without giving out the game plan and everything, but talk a little bit about the challenges that they present and kind of where your guys' mindset is going into this big game.
Well, I think everybody in the state knows McConomy. You got to stop him.
Yeah.
If you want to beat Appo, and so that's a big focus of ours.
Mm-hmm.
They're a team 2 years ago beat us up there, and that's something we one thing we like to check off our to-do list is to win up at Appo. Yeah. And to me, the conference in the state of Delaware, anybody can beat anybody. I really believe that. And if we're not ready to play, then anything can happen. So when you think of Appo, you think of a team who was right there in the semifinals last year. You think about McConomy. You think about they're well coached. Coach Timpson does a great job, and so we got to be at our best to compete with them.
Appo is definitely a very great team. We're definitely looking forward to having a good match with them. We've always had close, good matches with them in previous years. So no, they definitely have some playmakers that we're trying to be around for. But I think we're going to do all right.
Guys, what do you think?
I would say our biggest goal for this game is to stop the run. We knowing that they got one of the best running backs in the state, and our goal is to just stop him, try to do as much as we can on offense, and hopefully take the win.
And we think we have one of the best running backs in the state too. So.
Exactly.
Just a little modest, just a little bit. I feel like we got to stop McConomy. They also had a wide receiver that exploded out on the scene this week. I forgot his name, but he exploded out with 200 yards, 6 catches, 2 touchdowns or something like that. So we also got to prepare for that too as well.
Yeah, there you go. Again, sound prepared. You guys sound ready to go. Last question here for you. Again, thanks for joining us here on a Wednesday at Buffalo Wild Wings Dover. Game tomorrow night. What song are you listening to? You got the AirPods, headphones on, ahead of kickoff. What song you got going on in there getting you ready to go for tomorrow night there against Appo? Coach, you're not off the hook either. We're going to start with you here. What do you think? You can think back to the past, what now, and whatever you're thinking, but what song gets you going ready for game day?
Yeah, well, I'm just looking at the game plan, so I don't know. I have never listened to music. I remember when I was at GA Kansas, we were listening to blaring on the loudspeakers. I couldn't even talk to the guy next to me. We had Run DMC going back in 1985 or 80, something like that. And so that hits me before the game. I remember that back when they came out. They were popular back then.
That's a great answer, Coach. Just keep it rolling.
I like to listen to Break Stuff by Josiah. Gets me hyped. Gets some energy. Good energy going.
That's what you need. Yeah, that's what you need. Jaquan, what you got?
I'll probably say a Lil Baby or some Lil Durk.
Lil Baby or Lil Durk, okay. Nasheem, what about you?
I would say SZA. She calmed me down.
Okay, there you go. How about that?
A little different flavor.
There we go. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it, taking the time out of your Wednesday night. Big matchup for the Senators here tomorrow against Appoquinimink. You can catch Pat on the call for that one right here on Delaware Live Sports. Dover, 2-0 on the year, guys. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
One more break. We're going to be joined by Caesar Rodney Football here just around the corner. We'll be right back on Delaware Live Sports.
I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized. They were on top of everything from day one. Always here when they said they would be, always on time, kept to the schedule. The level of comfort speaking to everyone that works at Ferris, they were just super friendly, easy to talk to. It was like they were friends, not, people coming to work on our kitchen. The room is totally transformed from what it used to look like. To have all this seating now and the big table, the bench seats, it's great. I love coming home and just walking through the laundry room into the kitchen every day. It was just a great experience. We love Ferris.
I'm Scott Kammerer, president of Sodell Concepts, the best restaurant group in the state, and we're inviting you to come join our team. Sodell Concepts is a growing hospitality company with 16 restaurants and a variety of other hospitality businesses, all located in beautiful southern Delaware. We have recently added many departments to our executive leadership team, including a training department, a property development department, and a construction department. We invite you to come live at the beach and work with a growing restaurant group with many opportunities to advance your career. Sodell Concepts Restaurant Group, come check us out. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer.
And welcome back inside Delaware Live Sports, live from Buffalo Wild Wings Dover. Nick Allison journey alongside the fantasy champion Pat Garianis, and now here we are, interview number 3, an action-packed Wednesday for you all right here on Delaware Live Sports. Caesar Rodney, new head coach Sean Strickland, and the company of the Riders. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your Wednesday night.
Thanks for having us, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, guys, let's start off like we did the other two here, like we do every Wednesday. We're here at Buffalo Wild Wings. We like to travel up and down the state here and get some wings every now and then. What's your guys' go-to meal every time you come here at B-Dubs? You little wings, burger, what kind of wings? What's it going to be for you guys?
Burger, definitely.
I get that cheese curd bacon burger. It's really good.
All right.
I'm more of a mild guy myself. I don't like a lot of spicy stuff.
Hey, we're with you. We had a whole team of mob a little while ago.
I love wings, so you know I'm going to get the wings.
Yeah. There you go. Coach, off the hook, what about you?
I feel like you can't come to Wild Wings and not get wings, so probably usually the Asian zing. That's usually the go-to.
Phenomenal.
Usually the ones that's usually the go-to.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, fellas, let's take the opportunity here. Introduce yourself to the folks. Get your name, your grade, the position you play.
Aiden Kane, senior receiver.
Carter Stone, senior linebacker.
Chris Jamison, senior right tackle.
Typhon Bo Walker, junior running back.
Absolutely. All right, welcome in, folks. Coach, first year taking over the program this year. Talk a little bit about the culture you're trying to establish and what you've seen from your group, through training camp and the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, we're going back to basics and honestly just trying to build that winning culture. Again, we knew when we told the guys going in, it's not an overnight process. It's going to be week by week, and got to address different things as we see them come up. As you know, 2-3 weeks of preseason seems like a lot of time, but flies by real fast. But at the end of the day, the kids have worked so hard, and from off-season workouts in the spring through summer, these guys are just going hard, and we're taking it as it goes. And man, just couldn't be more proud of the development. And each week, again, no matter what comes out, we go back to the drawing board, make corrections, fix some things. After William Penn, hey, we got to fix a couple things defensively, special teams wise. Boom, that's not an issue come, the following week. So the guys are doing a phenomenal job with it. And like I said, we're taking steps forward every day, every week. So couldn't be more proud.
Absolutely. And fellas, from players' perspective, talk a little bit about the excitement coming into the season, under Coach Strickland, and a new opportunity to build the legacy of Caesar Rodney football. You guys have had a pretty good history through the years. So just talk a little bit about preseason, how that's going to go on, and just if there's been anything new or different,
from last year.
Yeah.
I feel like since last year, there's been a lot more energy. It feels like people want to be out here a lot more, and
I could just feel the difference, like especially in the locker room, because like the past couple of years we weren't allowed to get hyped. Like we were just straight quiet, and then we just got out. We weren't like we didn't really want to play, but now we can all get hyped and we could go out there, especially because we get the warm up with no pads on, and I feel like I feel so special, man. Yeah.
I think compared to last year, guys are handling adversity much better. I mean, last year, we had some things that we needed to fix, but this year we all come together and we're really gelling as a team, and we're really trying to, establish a culture to stick together and fight the adversity and trust the process.
I feel like the difference from last year to this year is we got like the guys got way more passion. We got a lot more leaders to, guide the younger guys into a winning culture. So that's it.
I feel like last year it wasn't really a family, but this year we had more of a family, and we're coming together more than we were last year.
Positive feedback
Yeah,
right
you
there,
gotta
Nick.
love
That's
that,
positive
right?
feedback right there.
And not an easy start to you guys here to start off your schedule. Two tough ones. You got William Penn to open up, and then a very tough Lake Forest team in the house tonight. So a tough start to your guys' schedule there. And Coach, you mentioned it, some special teams, some other things like that. But Coach, you can answer this, and then the players after. What did you learn about yourself with those two tough contests to start off the season as you head into week 3 for you guys?
Just our kids are overcoming adversity, and they're learning, they're growing every week. They're not quitting, not backing down. Again, facing adversity on the road, then home. I mean, Saturday was hot, and a game changer there. And again, you start off with a William Penn team, much improved, and again now 2-0, and a Lake Forest team that unbelievable amount of talent there. And again, I remember telling people my prediction is watch them make a run at Division II, because I knew they were that good with what they had coming back. And so it was just one of those things we told guys from the jump. People may look at your schedule, but you start with William Penn, who's traditionally a powerhouse. Lake Forest has been phenomenal the last 2-3 years. Now you're rolling into a 2-time state champ in Laurel. St. Mark's, it's almost like it doesn't get easier as it goes on. So we just got to keep picking it up, every week, and pick up the tempo, pick up the pace, pick up, just how we do things every week.
Yeah. And guys, you can answer this too. Again, obviously, real tough schedule then and still coming up. What have you guys learned about yourselves, and what's maybe your guys' goal, or what's the key to, staying the ship and having success in this tough schedule?
I feel like the key for us to have success is we got to come out there 100%, like all the time. Because for our William Penn game, for our first quarter, we were down 21-0, and then we came back 34-27. That's only because one quarter we were just shooting ourselves in our foot. The same with the late game. We were actually up, but then we just shot ourselves in the foot. We didn't have some people doing their jobs. We fixed it a little bit, but then we just couldn't keep it up. And I feel like if we just keep doing that and we come out there 100% for 4 quarters, we can do anything we want. Because realistically, I feel like we're not a bad team at all.
Yeah,
I feel like it's just self-mistakes that are just killing us.
Yeah.
I think from the first 2 weeks, I'm happy. Like the William Penn game, we saw that our offense, we can score a lot of points. In the past year, our offense has not seen that. So I think it's healthy that our offense saw that. And against Lake Forest, I know the scoreboard, it didn't look like we played good defense, but I think we got a lot of stops. And I think it's healthy that our defense saw that they can get off the field and get the ball back to our offense. And also, we have not seen that over the last year. So I think that's good. And the week we can put it all together, we're going to be really strong.
Absolutely.
Definitely, what I've learned from the first 2 weeks is, when we focus on one game at a time, one play at a time, and really make things simple, and focus on what we need to do that week, we can do a lot of things. We're very focused, very committed, and I think even though we've faced adversity the first 2 weeks, guys are committed and they're passionate about trying to change the culture and really try and go out there and do the best they can. And I think as we go down the stretch, you're going to see a different team, a team that's committed, a team that works and takes it one step at a time.
I feel like with the new playbook and the new system we have, we can make it work. I mean, I feel like nobody really believes in us, but as long as we believe in ourselves, that's all that matters.
Absolutely right. Coach, looking ahead here, like you mentioned, you got Laurel coming in here for your third game, week 3 game. Talk a little bit about, what you're looking to see from your team against a tough Laurel program that's kind of been on the rise the last few years.
You know, the big thing is just we want to see the 4 quarters, and we have preached that. You know, William Penn, hey, 3 out of 4 quarters, 22-0 in the first, 27-12 the next 3. You know, if we get that first under control, outcome can be completely different. You know, last week you get out to that early in the first, and then just the back end wasn't there. So, you know, when we've had the 4 quarters, when you put them together, hey, if we can string it together for all 4, we're a very good football team. So going into Laurel, we got to do that. We have to do it on the road, do it down in Laurel where those kids, they're tough. They're going to keep coming after you. Again, the environment, their fans are into it. It's a great football town. So, you know, a little bit of adversity on the road and having to overcome those things. But it's going to be a fun night.
Fellas, is there anything that you look for as individual players, kind of get yourself locked in going into another tough battle? Is there any mindset, anything in terms of focus or something that you're looking to do individually going into a tough game against Laurel?
Like to prepare myself. So what I do is every game day, I come full camo, because that like indicates I'm hunting and I'm ready to hunt that day.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
That's how I get myself prepared.
Okay, that's even better than best song right there.
For me, you know, when I you know, get locked in for the week, I always focus on keeping things simple and having the mindset that I'm going to do my job and, you know, help put my team in the best scenario to win, you know, and be a coachable student of the game, you know, and always pay attention to the adjustments and things that coach has for us and make sure that I'm always dialed in and leading by example.
I feel like it's really a mental game. Like, I see what I'm going to do before the play actually happens so I can succeed.
For me, I'm a pretty simple person. I just shuffle a playlist of my favorite songs and I'm ready to go.
Well, you let us right into our final question here at Buffalo Wild Wings Dover. Coach, we'll start with you and make our way around the table. It's game time. You guys are about to walk out to the field, take on those Laurel Bulldogs this weekend. You got your AirPods, your headphones in, whatever you got. What's your go-to song? What are you listening to, getting you ready to go right before kickoff on a big game this weekend? Coach, as a player, as a coach, whatever you want to talk about, what gets you going ready for game day?
Player, man, there's a lot of different things, but, you know, after being in Blacksburg and watching Breon Murray
I know
down
where
at
this is
Virginia
going.
Tech, you know, Enter Sandman.
There it is.
It's just too good. You know, when those lights flicker and that stadium goes nuts, you know, that was a whole nother energy that we got to see. So it's just like, man, that's really intense. So I'll miss those trips, but headed to Duke in a couple weeks to see our other friend, Mr. Aladuge, and so we'll see what their stadium has for us when it comes to music.
I'll tell you again, if you haven't checked it out or haven't been in the building for a Virginia Tech game in Blacksburg, make sure you get there. It's one of the coolest intros in all of college football. The energy is unbelievable. Coach, you're spot on there. I'll give you that one.
Yeah, by far, man. They have their you know, geography department and those things running. They have like a earthquake, you know, the scale, the Richter scale to measure, and like they actually get measurements on that thing game night when that stuff hits.
Awesome
It's
down there in
intense.
Blacksburg. Guys, now over to you. What's that song? What gets you going ready for kickoff and game day?
Me personally, it's Diane Bree, Polo G.
Needs a minute.
What really gets me pumped up is Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah, can't miss with that one. That's a good one.
I mean, I know everybody says this, but, you know, Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill. You know, sometimes I'm going to put in some gospel. You know, I got to praise the Lord.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dreams and Nightmares as well.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
It's been 6 years. 6 years.
Still going strong.
It's like the high school football anthem anymore. Man.
That's
It's
right.
like
Hey, Penn State used it on Saturday at Happy Valley. It still gets the job done.
See if
There
the
you
Eagles-
go.
yeah.
That's right.
Go Birds.
Well, the Eagles use it. I don't know if they'll use it for this or wait for the Cowboys. But
That's just right.
you
They've
know,
been
you
on the
never know.
I Just Want to Rock the Uzi grind has been down there a little bit lately too. Well, again, special thanks to Caesar Rodney. We appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on a Wednesday in Dover against CR in action against the Laurel Bulldogs here this weekend. Coach Thing, guys, thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
That'll do it here. One more break. We come back. We're going to wrap things up here from Buffalo Wild Wings. We'll be joined by Benny and Mike right around the corner after the break. Wraps, signs,
banners, and promotional items that can help your business stand out from the rest. Looking for an excellent way to convey a professional image? Customized promotional products are the perfect way to target new customers, increase employee retention, and boost your brand awareness. Let the professionals at Cassidy Graphics bring your advertising ideas to life. Give them a call today at 302-326-2412. Again, that number is 302-326-2412. Again, Cassidy Graphics brings your advertising ideas to life. Get the assurance that your HVAC system is what you need with Ambience. Ambience provides you with over 25 years of experience in the heating, cooling, and plumbing industry. The team at Ambience Heating and Air Conditioning provides high-quality residential HVAC installations, maintenance, and repairs in new and older homes in the Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania tri-state area. You may not realize it, but half of your energy costs go to heating and cooling. Make sure your energy dollars count and call us today for a free estimate. 302-239-HVAC. 302-239-4822.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Surf Bagel has served the community in Delaware for over 20 years, providing fresh, hot bagels, breakfast sandwiches, lunch sandwiches, wraps, salads, local coffee and smoothies, and our iconic merch. Welcome to Surf Bagel. We're stoked to serve you.
Welcome to Surf Bagel.
Welcome back in, folks. Delaware Live Sports Weekly. Appreciate all three of our guests here tonight, Lake Forest, Dover, and the Caesar Rodney football teams. Looking forward to some great games this week, and as well as tremendous finishes to their season. Pat Garianis, Nick Alessandrini with you. We're rejoined here by Mike Lang and Benny Mitchell. Benny,
before we get away,
you've got a story for us.
Before we get away off track. From music, I'm going to date myself, 1979, and I'll talk about what you listen to before you go out. Homecoming at Sussex Central, our brand new coach would come in the locker room for the homecoming game, and he's blaring John Philip Sousa music on a phonograph, because the Walkman, the tape recorder Walkman didn't come out for a couple more years. That phonograph's the thing that goes round and round for the young guys out there. But that's what we got.
And
John
again,
Philip Sousa, homecoming night.
And if you don't understand, Google or you're on YouTube, just YouTube John Philip Sousa and just bring up any song and listen to it. You'll get a much better idea why we're laughing up here at the desk. I'll throw it out there. I was in the music man in 8th grade. That's how I know.
Nick, you're going to have to Google phonograph.
Yeah, follow my Google phonograph.
Unbelievable.
All right, well, welcome back, everyone,
Walkman.
again.
We've done a lot of history out there tonight.
Again, special thanks to all our teams. Pat, it's time to jump into some of our rankings here this week as we close up our show here on a Wednesday in Dover. And let's start with the 1A rankings here in our Super 7. We'll reveal them now on your screen, and it is as follows. Glasgow coming in with that 7 spot. FSMA, First State Military at 6. St. Elizabeth's will have them in action this Friday night. The Force from Wilmington Charter 4th. How about the Conrad Red Wolves, Mike, moving up to that 3rd spot there. Indian River will have them in that matchup with St. E's on Friday. They're sitting at number 2. And Pat, Tatnall, your top-ranked team as we head in to week number 3.
Absolutely. And, fellas, talk a little bit about anything that may jump out at you here about this.
How about
this
the Bulldogs of First State Military Academy?
Yep.
First ever ranking of any team in our rankings of any sport. So congratulations to the Bulldogs. They got things going uphill now.
Took Wilmington Charter to double overtime last week before.
Wow, how about that
Charter
one? That's
won.
a big victory. That might be the biggest victory in program history.
Yeah, they got a running back to watch. A guy named by the name of Mark Lawrence. It's on our top plays last week.
Yeah, we'll check that out here.
And that's where the subdivisions that they've created have created some hype around some of these schools that typically didn't get it. So moving right along, we're looking at our Class 2A Super 7s. As you'll see it flash up on your screen, from 7 to 1, we go the Hawks of Archmere, Newark, Red Lion at 5, DMA 4, Laurel. How about that? Let's introduce ourselves into Class 2A. They're coming in at number 3. Lake Forest, who we talked to tonight, at number 2, and we saw last week, Caravel coming in at number 1. Benny, you got a couple of downstate teams in there, including Laurel. They're not missing a beat.
Nah, they came right out. What do they do? We moved to AA. We signed up two 3A teams to play. They were in that central game to the 4th quarter. They've got Caesar Rodney coming up this week. I talked to John Wells after the game. He said, let me tell you something. Laurel High School football is going to cause problems in AA.
Mike, anything in particular that jumps out at you here in 2A?
Yeah, looking at that Newark schedule, they play at home this Saturday against Tower Hill. I think it's really going to be a good test for Newark, and may determine whether they're still sitting there at number 6 next week or not. That should be a good one down there with the Yellow Jackets and the Hillers.
Again, remember you can catch some of that action here in Class 2A on Delaware Live Sports. Let's jump now over to 3A, and let's start at number 7 with the Spartans of St. Mark's. They're up in Class 3A this year. They come in with that 7 spot, followed by Coach John Wilson, St. George's Tech. Salesianum at 5, new head coach Gene Deladon. Sussex Central coming in with that 4 spot. Dover, they're in the house tonight. Again, in that championship game last year, they're sitting at 3, and then Smyrna 2, Middletown 1. And guys, just let's have a look. Benny, Middletown looking good to start off their season here this year.
Yeah, they just took advantage of the inexperience of Sussex Central last week and just walked away with it was just a blowout, which you don't usually see against Sussex Central. Usually Sussex Central's stellar defense, but Middletown just way too much. What I like about this, our Super 7 is we got a group of 3 up there at the top. We've got Middletown, Smyrna, Dover. By the end of the year, they're all going to be better. So it's going to be fun to watch those, especially that one semifinal. And then you got the same thing from 4 to 7. You got a bunch of guys that could change every week. I think Coach Knapp said, here in Delaware in 3A football, anybody can win on any given night.
Yeah, that Middletown team is exciting, Nick. It's a blend of seniors and sophomores. They sophomore every play I felt like was being made. And the cool thing is they got the lights now. They dimmed the stadium on touchdowns.
In the house last week.
Blue.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable down there what the Cavaliers are doing. It's exciting, Mike. But hey, talk a little bit about 3A here. I think Benny mentioned it. You got the 3 at the top of the class, but then it's pretty much wide open after that.
I mean, Smyrna is 0-2, but they're the best 0-2 team in Delaware. They've got a lot of talent. We were talking about it on the drive down, Pat, with some of the guys they have that they can throw out there. And the talent just keeps coming down there for Coach Judy. When you look at who's not in that Super 7, a team like Appo, who Dover gets,
right?
And we'll find out. I think it's tomorrow night. To find out, if Appo can they pull an upset. And I think it's at Appo, right? So if they can pull that upset, maybe they want to knock on the door. They want to get into that Super 7 and maybe knock those Spartans right out of there, Nick. And who knows?
It's going to be competitive. It's all 3 classes once again this year, shaking up to be a competitive season and into the postseason, Pat, here in all 3 classes.
Yeah, it should be, and we're looking forward to it the rest of the year. But we're going to take a quick transition here. One thing that we wanted to bring back this year was highlighting some of the athletes that are now alumni to the Del HS scene.
Local college, local athletes.
Correct. Local colleges are playing in the professionals, and we did want to highlight a few different people here. We'll start with Josie Holloman, who's a Del Mar graduate. She scored her first collegiate goal in overtime to lead number 3 Maryland to a win, so congratulations there to Josie. Speaking of first goals, how about Emma Joffrey from Archmere? She scored a tremendous header in the 87th minute, helped the University of Cincinnati to a 2-2 draw at Butler. So well done there against the Bulldogs. The Butler didn't do it. The University of Delaware football team picked up a huge win in their opener at Stony Brook. Then, of course, we don't need to talk about it, but they had a tremendous trip to visit Happy Valley up at number 7 Penn State. So at least they got that experience. The Hens, it's going to be exciting this year, Nick. I know you guys are excited about that for sure. And the last guy we want to highlight here, Luke Watson, graduate from St. Mark's. He had a birthday on September 2nd, and guess what? He also got a start for the Temple Owls, who picked up a 24-21 victory over Akron this week. So congratulations to Luke and the rest of the athletes, and we'll continue to highlight a handful of athletes every week.
Yeah, you're right,
make sure you
Pat.
send them in so we know who to highlight.
And you look at some of these, right? You look at some of the, and you talked about Josie Holloman to lead number 3 Maryland to a victory. So number 3rd team in the country. How impressive is that? Emma Joffrey playing for the University of Cincinnati in a game against Butler. Luke Watson starting for Temple. I mean, there's some big time programs for some of these local athletes, and they're getting it done at the next level. So again, congratulations to all of them. Phenomenal to see. And Pat, that'll take us to our final segment.
Absolutely. Top performers, fellas. Had a lot of great, options out there. There's 2 of them, and we'll start with Jameer Snell.
He's in the
Lake
house.
Forest. He's in the house. He got it done, folks. 96-yard touchdown run And then after he caught his breath, an 85-yard touchdown reception.
Get back out
So just keep going,
And
fellas.
then not one, not two, 3 interceptions last
Tremendous,
Saturday.
man, including a pick 6.
I thought this was a typo.
Including a pick 6.
To end the half. One of them was to end the half.
That's just like the young man from the Jets the other night.
Oh man, yeah, that's right. Jordan Whitehead. That's
Give me
right.
3. Give me 3.
And, again, and then Benny, you know this guy very well, Jakari Banks for Woodbridge, one of our top performers this week. You talked about the 100-yard pick 6, the 96-yard kick return. Does it in all facets of the game.
Yeah, he's only a sophomore. Coach Dooley really high on this kid, and but his scores, anytime you score on a special team or defense is big, but in a close game, Colonel Richardson was on the doorstep of a touchdown. He catches the ball, steps right on the goal line, 100 yards the other way.
Unbelievable.
Comes back out, 10 minutes, 15 minutes rest at halftime. Opening kickoff, 98 yards.
No oxygen needed. They don't have oxygen on that sideline.
Right. Never tapped his helmet. Remember that back there and played football, right?
Yeah, well, again, Pat, I lied earlier when I said this was our last segment. We've got one more video to come to you now. And Pat, that's our favorite segment, but we've got it already recorded. We're going to let everybody take a look at it right now.
Top plays of the week, baby. Let's see what we got. And you know what? We're going to end with that. Is we just got word in the earpiece from our producer. We're actually going to close this one out.
Yeah.
Final thoughts from Mike and Benny here, if any.
Hey, we need your help. Send us your top plays, 302sports@gmail.com. Top performers, and also the videos if you have them. Tag us on social media. Email them. Nick will get them. We'll get them in there. We want to highlight as many kids, as many schools as we can, and get out and watch some sports. I know it's been a little hot, but the weather's a little cooler right now.
It's
so
going to be
get
a
out and
nice
watch
fall.
some.
3 really good games on this week. 1 on Thursday, 2 on Friday. Open a couple browsers, watch them both.
Absolutely. And Nick, it's an excellent job. Once again, thanks to Lake
Appreciate
Forest, Dover, and Cesar Rodney for joining us here tonight.
That's right. 3 games this weekend. That matches the 3 interceptions. And now, without further ado, for everyone here at Buffalo Wild Wings Dover, including the man behind the glass, Nick Halliday, it is time for our top plays of the week. Enjoy.